Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. We've got a quick video today to talk about Sofi. So today has just been absolutely mega busy. I'm doing a bit of overtime work and these next kind of 2 weeks are going to be really busy. So today is one of those days where I just haven't had much time to put a video together. But what I wanted to do is talk about Sofi really quickly, just because it's having such a mega day. The stock is basically up 20% today. Absolute insane day from Sofi, and obviously me as a shareholder, obviously I'm really happy to hold Sofi and it going up 20% today. And obviously this actually puts it back up into a 100% return for me, adds to the long list of 100% returns that we've had on the channel. And this is actually the second time it's been in here. The reason why it's the second time is because I bought and then it dropped a little bit and I averaged up on this position because I thought I'm normally if I'm up that much so quickly I normally sell out the position, but I said I'm not doing that with Sofi because I think the future is really good on it, and these earnings once again just prove that today, and we'll go through them in a second. But I thought I'm going to average up even more, and obviously getting the returns, and it's back in the 100% return club. Obviously the only thing that I always have a negative of this is that I wish I had more shares of it, but it's absolutely fine at the moment. Now obviously I became a shareholder in Sofi not too long ago. As you can see this video here, 2 months ago I did a video saying why I'm buying Sofi, and that was a very big deep dive into Sofi and why I'm buying it. Not too often I do massive deep dives into the company on YouTube. The reason why it takes ages to put those videos together. That video alone there, you're talking like 5 hours to kind of put that video together. And obviously I only make around, I would say, £7 a video or something for doing this on YouTube. And it doesn't justify my time doing 5 hours every single video to do that. So whenever I do drop videos like that, it's definitely worth watching. And that was a video where I went into a deep dive on why I'm buying Sofi and the reasons why I think it'll do very well. And obviously management have executed it. If only it was as easy as management went, this is what we're going to do, and they execute on it, and they even do it even better than what they're saying. That is Sofi. You know, if every stock did that, that'd be absolutely amazing. But obviously, it doesn't always work out like that. But yeah, obviously, I'm really happy that I've been buying Sofi, and the stock's doing really well. And you know, the only thing I look at it today is going, you know, if it is ever to have a dip, you know, I'll buy more. Now, obviously, I started buying Sofi when it started having this dip round here. As you can see, the stock had a right nosedive. I think the stock was down like 24% on that dip at the peak of it, off the last earnings. And I looked at them last earnings, I was like, these are amazing earnings. I was like, I'm buying this stock here. And so obviously since then, you know, Wall Street went, oh, these are terrible earnings, sold it off. And obviously Wall Street were majorly wrong with this company. You know, to sell it off 24% after those earnings were crazy because they were fantastic. And obviously, you know, very quickly Sofi, Wall Street realised, oh, we shouldn't have sold Sofi off. This is a mega company. And obviously since that time frame, when that stock had that 24% dip, the stock is up over 140%. Now, obviously, I've been averaging up a little bit, so I'm up. I'm not up as much as 140%, but it did hit the 100% return club today, obviously. So, as you guys on the Patreon would have known, you were knowing my buy and sell alerts in real time when I was doing that. And if you are on the Patreon, I did just drop the earnings review video that goes through all the companies that reported earnings last week that I currently own. So if you're on the Patreon, watch that. If you do want to join the Patreon and watch the exclusive content like that, then the link is in the description. Only £5 a month. You get 2 exclusive videos a week and Discord with 500 members to talk to about stocks. But getting on to Sofi earnings and why the stock was up so much. Well, first of all, let's look at the headline numbers. Triple B, and I think this is the 3rd time in a row so far I've done that, which is actually really impressive. EPS was in line, but the adjusted revenue was up 37% year over year, and that was a beat by 15 million, so really nice chunky beat on there. New ad members was up 44%, new product ads of nearly 847,000, up 43%. They also then started putting their outlook up a little bit, as you can see here, for the full year 2023. Management expects adjusted net revenues now to go 1.97 to 2.03 billion, up from the prior guidance that you can see there. And you can see adjusted EBITDA as well, 333 million to 343 million, up from its prior guidance of 268 from 288 million. That's obviously a massive hike up. So that's obviously what the market really like there, representing a 40 to 44% incremental adjusted EBITDA margin. I think that's the bit that the market really gave that lift up today, is on the fact that the profitability is lifting up as well with the revenue there. So as you can see in those numbers, the headline numbers, they were actually majorly beat, a major beat, especially on the profitability now getting driven up inside the company. Now, looking inside the company in a few little snapshots that I took here, they said that they also generated their 4th consecutive quarter record adjusted EBITDA of 77 million, representing a 43% incremental adjusted EBITDA margin and 16% margin overall. Obviously, that's absolutely amazing that that's coming in there. And if you look at adjusted EBITDA from the last year exact point, it was around 20 million, obviously up 76 million, up 278%. Obviously, if you do that over over a course of a year, that adjusted EBITDA now is looking very good. So that's fantastic. Obviously, revenue up 37%. The loss is improving as well. Obviously, there was a lot of that with the share dilution that was going on, but on an adjusted EBITDA basis, obviously, very, very good there. And the good thing is that they said that because we're seeing the improvement in profitability here, they're actually still aiming for GAAP profitability in the fourth quarter of 2023. This has been a long-term target for Sofi, so we are going to see GAAP profitability really soon. In the financial service segment as well, that was up 47% year over year. You can see checking and savings was up 47% a year. Sofi Invest was up 18% a year. Sofi Relay grew 90% year over year. Very good amounts of growth that was going in there, and you can see here. This is what I was quite surprised by. So there was a lot of good numbers that I could have put in here about different parts of the business that was growing really well, because there was a lot of parts doing fantastic, especially like the personal loan parts of the business. But last time, if you guys remember, I was trying to find a reason why this stock had dropped this much on the last earnings report, and eventually I put it down to the point of view that maybe it was Galileo, one of the big acquisitions that they made, that's supposed to be a good, growth driver for the company going forward. Maybe the growth in that was a lot slower than what was expected, and maybe that's why the market kind of freaked out with it. And I looked at this here, and it was down 9%, or it was up 9%, which obviously is still growing, but maybe last time I think the market kind of threw its toys out the pram when it saw this number, and I thought, oh, is the market going to not like that number again, potentially, if that was the reason for the drop? But it didn't. It wasn't bothered. So I mean, it was funny because overall I was looking at this earnings report, and the numbers were really good, but I was looking at the difference between the stock going up 20% today, and I was looking at the difference between when it went down like 20% last time, and I can't see the difference what the market saw, which is, it just shows you sometimes the market can move crazy in one direction, not the direction. In fact, I would say the last quarter was probably even better than this quarter, and yet that quarter was down 20%, and then this was up 20%. Maybe the reason why is, in the last quarter, I think maybe some of the numbers were a little bit better. Listening to the conference call, I think maybe the questions were a bit better, so that gave a bit better information on the conference call, talk about student loans. But there was some good commentary on this conference call, but there was points where there was like questions on the conference call where there was a point where the analyst asked a point of view where what do you mean you're going to be one of the biggest, your aim is to be one of the biggest 10 banks in the world? And Anthony Noto was like, well, we're going to be one of the top 10 banks in the world by market cap. And then he just went on to the next question. It's like, these guys are analysts of major companies, and they're getting to ask these, questions on conference calls. And, if you don't, they're asking questions like that. It's crazy, So, you can't really help that sometimes. But one of the big things that really gets me excited as a Sofi shareholder is with all of this, and there was some mention of this on the conference call, is the student loans. Because obviously Sofi, as most of you guys know, was started as a student loan business. Now obviously the student loans have been paused, but are going to be returning in the next kind of 12 months. And even though Sofi has adapted to that as coming now, that easy access financial platform with all these services of personal loans, home loans, you can invest, you got your Sofi money accounts. Even though they offer all these products, and the main thing for Sofi now is attracting these customers, but now because they're cross-selling to them all, that's the money they're returning to the business, and their cost now of mouth, the word of mouth, and people going, oh, I get all of my financial services from Sofi now. And it's a great platform. They have all these customers now that are using more parts of the platform, and because of the word of mouth, they don't have to advertise as much, and the cost of acquiring a customer is increasing, but also is getting lower as well. So that's why the revenue is still growing at really good rates, and then you're seeing all the profitability getting dragged down. And the big thing is, what we're saying here is that Sofi, which was its first kind of major product, is the loan part of the business. That totally went out of the business only 12 months ago, and that was one of the big parts. And the big thing is that not many people are kind of factoring in here is this is probably going to start coming back in the next 12. Well, it is going to come back in the next 12 months. And Sofi actually said on the last conference call, they reckon that this could have cost them around 400 million that they could have generated. And when you look at Sofi, and I believe this is still in the financial forecast and analyst forecast, no one's actually forecasting in the next 12 months the student loan business to come back. And most of that's going to be probably easy. A lot of their customers that are already on the platform, if they add that product in, it's not going to be much of a cost to SoFi. So you're going to have this extra whatever the loan business brings in the next kind of year, let's say 200, 300 million. If this kind of brings in 200, 300 million in the company, you're not only slapping on, let's say that we get to December 2023 and we do around about 2 billion in revenue, and then in the next year we grow, around 20% or a bit higher than 20%, and we actually do 2.5 billion. We then actually stick the student loan business on top. You're actually adding on, an extra, 200, 300 million. And a lot of that probably will go straight to the bottom line. So you're going to have the company that obviously is going to hit profitability in Q4. That profitability will ramp up. You have the revenue ramping up, the student loans coming back. SoFi is in a really good place in the next 12 months. And it's going to be really interesting to see what numbers they actually do when that student loan business starts coming back, and also as they start acquiring more and more customers and they're cross-selling and adding all these products in. It only looks even more impressive with SoFi, and that kind of goes back to the point at the beginning, is that even though this is a bit of a smaller position for me, just because I wasn't able to buy as many shares, I would normally, if I had a share jump up this much, I'd go, it's probably not worth my time to kind of upkeep it. SoFi is different, because even right now I'm looking to average up on it, and I don't want to sell because I'm looking at the headwinds, or the tailwinds, not the headwinds, the tailwinds of what this company is going to have in the next kind of 12 months alone, and it's exciting, and I want to be part of it. Even if it's a small part, I want to be part of it, because I think it has a really, really good future where, where SoFi say we target to becoming a top 10 bank in the US. They could do it. They could easily do it if they carry on doing what they're doing at the moment, especially when you look at those earnings. So, hope you enjoyed the SoFi video today, guys. Congrats to any of you SoFi shareholders out there. It's still a very busy week of earnings, so there'll be a few more that we talk about this week for sure. But as always, thank you for watching. Hit the like button. Catch you in a bit.